A very warm welcome to anyone tuning in, wherever you may be. We are here in the Singapore Pokémon Video Game Regional Championships, and that promises to be an exciting event. My name is Matthew Hui,
and I am Justin Locke.
and we will be your commentators for today's event, the matches on stream at least, Singapore's first major tournament under the new VGC16 rule set, and in fact the first for the Asia Pacific region as a whole. Players have had time to familiarize themselves with the nascent metagame over Battle Sport since it just started this week. And it's interesting to see what players have decided, what teams they will pick to bring them forward in today's event.
Yeah, and I certainly hope so. Speaking of the Asia Pacific region, I think it's fair to say we've come a long way since sanctioned events started last year. This is actually the second time Singapore is hosting a regionals, but while last year's event was pretty quiet, mostly just local players, today's event truly lives up to the name of regionals.
Yes, we have a strong contingent coming down the causeway from our neighbours in Malaysia, and a few friends from Thailand, who have become pretty familiar faces to us at this point. Some have even come from Indonesia, and we even have a group that flew down from Hong Kong. We even have one guy from Australia, just like in our first PC this year.
Yep, it's not going to be easy for our local powerhouses to defend their home turf, especially since, unlike the two of us when we go to attend tournaments overseas, these players are not just here on holiday. Some of these foreign players here are actually already reached the 200 CP bar for Worlds qualification in APAC, which means they are now aiming for the big prize, the paid trip to San Francisco.
Alright, but for now, we will be going into our very first stream match. This is actually the second round of Swiss, and it will be between Cyrus and his opponent, which is, I believe the names will be coming up shortly. His opponent is Linus Lim. So on the screen we see on our side, which I believe is Linus' team, we see the Whimsicott and the Gengar. A very strong combination, assuming it is the Mega Gengar.
Yeah. I mean, I believe Ruven used this combination in the PC previously to quite very good effect. The Whimsicott providing the fake tier support and the Gengar just nuking whatever it can.
And for Cyrus' side, we see the Salamence, or rather K-Ing, since we are using his name. And we do see the Gengar go for the Mega Evolution, going first since it is faster than the Salamence in its base form. Yep. So we do see the Mega Evolution, and we do see the trap set in place, trapping both the Salamence and the Talonflame on the field.
And we also see the Mega Evolution coming from the Mance. No switches. And Whimsicott doesn't go for fake
no
tiers,
fake tiers, he goes for Helping Hand instead. And Talonflame does get a priority Tailwind up, but are we going to see the Gengar take out the Salamence on turn 1?
Well, the Gengar is faster if it goes for the Icy Wind. I don't think that's enough to take out the Mance, even with a Helping Hand boost.
Well, you would be wrong actually. No critical hit on the Salamence.
Yeah, the critical hit was on the Talonflame.
So we see why he went for the Helping Hand, since he wanted boosted damage on both Pokemon, and knew that Helping Hand would be enough to get the kill with Icy Wind.
Yeah, I guess he didn't go for the fake tiers because he maybe considered the fact that Mance could protect. And but a bit risky going for the Icy Wind considering that it could miss.
And I think even with the Icy Wind, but again, Talonflame is going to be going for Brave Bird anyway. And now that Groudon comes onto the field unhindered by Icy Wind, it is going to have the speed advantage over the Gengar.
Yeah, and notably the Mega Gengar, it's in Mega form, it does not have Levitate, quite vulnerable to Groudon's ground attack, Precipitate Blaze. And will be interesting to see if maybe goes for the Protect, the Whimsicott tries to match the Tailwind.
Though of course the Groudon might even have access to Eruption, which would demolish both Whimsicott and Gengar. Yeah, given that we are looking at the sun right now.
Well, I see Linus, maybe his option is just to sacrifice his Whimsicott, go for Tailwind, try to match the speed, protect his Gengar maybe?
Just assuming the Whimsicott does carry a Tailwind, as we see the Protect coming out from the Gengar. So is the Whimsicott, or just a Brave Bird which goes into the Whimsicott, presumably Cyrus hoping to break Guang Liang's sash on the Whimsicott. As we do see it go to its sash. But the Groudon yet to move, I would assume going for the spread move. Talonflame brings itself down, which I believe Cyrus would actually appreciate, considering that Talonflame was trapped, and now something else can come in to take advantage of the Tailwind.
But it goes for the Encore.
Whimsicott trying to Encore the Talonflame into the Tailwind, but unfortunately falling short of priority because Talonflame is apparently his opposing Talonflame is Jolly.
Now,
so able to bring out
with the speed drop from the Icy Wind previously.
Oh, actually, I'm actually fairly confused by that.
Yeah, then that means does that mean the Whimsicott doesn't run speed? Maybe.
Perhaps.
Well, okay, we see a Kyogre come out on Linus' side of the field, and since
what are we saying? The Talonflame had Tailwind. That's why he moved before the Moon Tree.
yeah. Okay, but now we see Primordial Sea in action, and the Groudon, since it's down to his last 2 Pokemon, he's not going to switch out. Would you say the game is set from this point? I mean,
Cyrus still has a speed advantage, that's true, but I think Guang Liang can just double protect to waste the last turn of... the Gengar already protected,
Yeah, the
so the
Gengar
Gengar
is
can
still
switch
vulnerable.
out, and the Kyogre can just protect to waste the last turn of Tailwind, and then get the advantage on the Groudon, who cannot reset the weather, barring a surprise roleplay from the Smeargle perhaps.
Yeah, that could be... Oh, but it goes... There's no protect even.
Earth Power will take out the Gengar, unable to protect, and Kyogre leaving himself open, but if Kyogre gets an attack, it's over, but Smeargle is going to get the Dark Void off. As he does, and it lands on the Kyogre. So Kyogre will take its first turn of sleep. As Tailwind expires for Cyrus.
Yeah, I would actually... I'm not sure, but I think he should have prioritized the Kyogre more, but considering that Gengar has not protected the previous turn, it's a pretty open target. And we see the Moody Boost not really being very...
Neither good nor bad for Cyrus.
Yeah. And we see Groudon.
Oh, Guang Liang bringing his own Groudon, which will turn the weather to sun, nullifying his own Kyogre's...
Yeah, that kind of betrayed his own advantage previously.
But, well, the Tailwind has expired, so it remains to be seen which of these two have the faster Groudon, or if it's going to be a speed tie. But the thing is, we've seen Earth Power coming out from Kain's Groudon, so if Guang Liang carries Precipice Blades as his ground attack, then Kain is going to be able to one-shot Guang Liang's Groudon, while Guang Liang would be unable to do that in return.
Yeah, but,
and recognizing that, Guang Liang goes for the protect, hoping to get his Kyogre to wake up. As Groudon psychs up the Smeargle, which
was a drop, was a
attack.
-1 attack and a +2 special defense.
So Kyogre reveals Hidden Power Ground, I believe, which will hit Groudon super effectively, but thanks to the boost gained from the Smeargle, he is going to take that very comfortably.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that he wants the attack drop.
I think it's safe to say he's a special variant. With Psych Up to perhaps copy his own Xerneas.
Yeah, we did see
that on his
power.
team.
We've not seen any physical attacks from the Groudon yet. That is quite true.
So Kain is in a very strong position right now. His Groudon is boosted, able to take hits on the special side from Kyogre. Though I suppose a Precipice Blades from Guang Liang could end this battle right here.
Yeah, I mean, well, the Kyogre is still untouched on Guang Liang's side.
But Kyogre at this point, but I suppose even with the special defense boost, Hidden Power looks like a 2-hit KO. A 3-hit KO, a 2-hit KO from here on the Groudon.
Yeah, it all depends on whether Precipice Blades hits or misses.
But the opposing Groudon doesn't want to take that chance, goes for the protect, and I would suspect fishing for another Dark Void, and he goes for it.
He gets at least one.
Oh, he gets the sleep because Kyogre is already asleep. Oh, no, Kyogre woke up.
Kyogre woke up, so he gets at least one.
a sleep on Groudon, which is probably the most important one in this battle. He gets the double hit, and both of Guang Liang's Pokemon will take their first turns of sleep.
Ooh, it's quite... What does Guang Liang want to copy more stat changes from Smeargle if he wants to?
Well, with a speed +2, I think, but the thing is, he has a decent chance of going, he probably wants to go for the attack this turn. And I'll power onto the Groudon if he doesn't wake up and protect. Should take it out, considering he is a special variant.
And I mean, his own Smeargle could transform into his own Groudon. Oh, but he goes for follow me instead. Well, that's actually pretty smart since Kyogre seems to only reveal the hidden power.
And the Groudon does go first, lands the Earth Power on the Groudon, and that should be a one-hit KO, as it does, taking out the Groudon. And Guang Liang is pretty much stuck here because even if he wakes up, Hidden Power is going into the Smeargle, and he needs 2 Hidden Powers to land on the Groudon to KO.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good for Kain here. Guang Liang, sorry. Kain was quite smart to recognize that his opponent's Groudon was the main threat, prioritizing it to take it out of the field. And Smeargle actually being pretty useful here.
Now that Kyogre doesn't have any water, even if he has a Skull, he can't target it in the sun. So Earth Power is free to slowly whittle down the Kyogre as it stays asleep. So the follow me, the safe play there, but not coming into play this turn.
Yeah, I don't know what...
And Smeargle gains evasiveness just to rub it in.
I don't know, but looking back, maybe... I think Guang Liang had the advantage, but that changed when his own Groudon came in and changed the weather back to Desolate Land. And his own Kyogre couldn't fire off a water attack to seal the game for him.
Kain will go for a safe play, goes for the follow me Earth Power. Earth Power should bring Kyogre into the red. Or into the yellow as it turns out. He wakes up, Hidden Power, Whirl Void. The Smeargle with the evasiveness will steal the game for Kain.
Just rubbing more salt.
Well, evasiveness does fall, so now Smeargle is at additional 1 level of evasiveness.
Yeah, but at this point, I
Her
think the
power
game,
will KO the Kyogre.
yeah, the game is set in Kane's favor.
Guang Liang forfeits because, well, Guang Liang, well, as you said, he had control of the weather, but decided to bring both primals, and the Groudon in the back eventually screwed.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the dangers of running dual weather. You could end up with the weather that you caused you to lose the game.
There's a very strong position played by Guang Liang from the very beginning. He had the Whimsy Gengali, as we've talked about before. It's a very strong way to put pressure on your opponent. He even had the Helping Hand Icy Wind to one kill the Salamence and do damage to the
That was
Talonflame.
definitely unexpected, yeah.
But the Talonflame turned out, it did its job. The Suicide Tailwind gave itself the speed advantage. And from there, it was, with the speed advantage given by Tailwind, I think Kane was able to close the game out just with his Groudon alone.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't really matter that he lost, as in his own Tailwind was stalled out. The main thing was the weather.
I mean, an element of luck in this game because Spriggles got the special defense boost which Groudon was able to copy. Though as it turns out, the Kyogre didn't even land any more hits after that anyway.
Yeah, but if you think about it, there was a hidden power onto a +2 special defense. So if the Groudon was not boosted,
neutral, yeah, it would have been a 2-8 KO. But even then, Spriggles still had Follow Me to draw the hidden power ground.
yeah, so maybe Kane could have ended the match quicker if he decided to go for attack, maybe to take out the Groudon right from the start. But that turned the Groudon protected, yeah. So it was pretty smart for him to recognize free opportunity to so-called boost.
There we see the value of special Groudon over physical Groudon, able to one-hit kill your opponent with hit Earth power with max special attack.
No, you do have to, I guess, without you running Precipitate, you do run the risk of being distracted by Follow Me users or Rage Powder users. But that didn't come into play this match, so...
I mean, presumably for Follow Me and Rage Powder users, I would assume that Kane's Groudon carries the Eruption
True.
as a full special variant. And well, as we saw the Psych Up wasn't there just as a, just as a throwaway move. Kane carries Xerneas in his team. And Psych Up gives him the option of a Xerneas Geomancy and a Groudon Psych Up on the same turn.
Yeah, and a Geomancy boosted Groudon is also quite scary. Yeah.
It eliminates his main weakness, which is hits on the special side. So Kane pretty much in control after the Tailwind went off.
And I don't know, I just feel that Guang Liang just shot himself in the foot.
But it was a mistake on Guang Liang's side as well, going for the Encore onto the Talonflame.
Yeah,
when
that was a wasted
he should have known that Talonflame would be faster even after the Icy Wind thanks to the Tailwind.
Maybe he should have gone for his own Tailwind to match.
Then again, I think it's hard to say whether his Whimsicott carried Tailwind. Or because you would think that he would have gone for his own Tailwind if he carried it. Encore might have been his best play at that
actually
point.
expecting both players to go for the turn 1 Tailwind. I wasn't expecting, even though Guang Liang's options were there to go for the Fake Tears attack onto a Pokemon, I was actually expecting a turn 1 Tailwinds from both sides. But yeah, Guang Liang a bit more aggressive, decides to go for the KO instead.
Which put him in a good position starting out, but he couldn't overcome the advantage given by Tailwind.